This week we have a social issue, photography and design, and talking about this image right here is one of my students wants to do a social image on homelessness. And all right, so the first thing when I look at this image, the main part right here is pretty small inside of the image itself. I do like the text that says until justice rolls like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream, but it's too far away. It can't see it. It's half of the verbiage is chopped off. So I'm going to crop this down. But first the next thing I'm going to look at is the coloring. The coloring in this photo is really nice, except for this looks like she's been composited into the photo, which is, let's make it look like she's actually there, right? So the first thing I do is when I look at this, I look at light and shadow, and when I look at this statue right here, I see there's a light on the right side of her face, and then there's a yellowish on the left side and a whitish on the right side. So that tells me that there's some kind of reflection going on from lighting. And when I look at this light here on the bottom left, that means that this building right here is the shadow, and the statue is in the shadow of the building. The light is coming over the building, the sunlight is coming over the building, and it's kind of hitting her on the top right. But the reflection from the sun over here is bouncing off of something and hitting her on the left side of her body. So we need to do that with the woman sleeping here too. Her foot over here is very dark, and if there was a reflection here, that just doesn't work. Also, I'm not digging her head being to the right. It looks like, I don't know, it's just not working for me. So the first thing I would do is Command T, right click, flip horizontally, and then press enter. Let's see what we got next. All right. And then I want to go with the perspective. Right now, the perspective on this, I'm just going to make a rectangle tool red so you can see it. Red, there we go. And then I'm going to turn this to go with the perspective of, do you see the top of the bench where she's sitting? It's kind of difficult to doing this here. Yes, I want to use that. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So there we go. And then I'm going to turn it just a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty much the perspective on the bench right there. And then I'm going to do a Command J, make another one of these. And the bench here, perspective on that. Here we go. And then I'm going to do a Command J and bring this down, and then it goes, whoops, did it come down? Okay, come down, Command T, J, Command T, and then transform, and then here we go, we got it. Let's go in a little bit more. So I want to go with these lines, these perspective lines. I'm going to Command T, and I'm going to turn her a little bit. Press enter. For some reason my computer is really slow right now, and it doesn't show what she looks like when I turn her, but that looks, see now how that's looking? That looks pretty cool. Here we go. Command T, because the perspective line is going to turn more too, right? And let's see what that's like. See, there we go. So that's working. All right. Now she looks like she was meant to be there. I can click on her and move her a little bit. Why is it not working? Why am I not being able to move her? All right, I'm going to move her down just a little bit. Come on. Photoshop is being really slow today. There we go. Kind of like that better, but let me see what it looks like before and after. Depending on what the composition is going to actually look like at the end, how I crop the photo is where this will look better, if she was there or if she's over to the right more. Alright, so let me bring her down. Oh, it's moving now. Okay, good. Let me see. We don't want to get her right up on there. We want her to be on the floor in front of her. Okay, we used to be over here. Now we're over here. Let's leave her there for now. Okay, the next thing is we want to put some shadow underneath her. So I'm going to make a layer underneath that layer, and we're going to name it shadow. And I'm going to use a black soft brush, and I'm going to put shadow right about here. Make sure my opacity is 100%. So shadow, and then I'm going to put some behind her feet back here. And then I'll bring the opacity of that layer down, and then I'll bring it up slightly to see where that works. It works right about there for the elbow, but it might be a little too dark over here for her. So I might take it down a little bit with the eraser tool. There we go. So we still have that shadow. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is make a layer over her, and I'll make this highlight, or I should write reflective light, to get that light, that yellow light, that yellow glow around the statue here. Let me get that yellow over here so you can see. There's that. It's like a tell you, so many different colors in there. Here we go. We can use that right there. That's a golden yellow, brownish. Okay, let's try that first. I'm going to put some on her face. I have a Cintiq, so I'll be able to do it. Make sure I have the brush. Oh, I can't use my Cintiq because it's hooked up to my Mac, sorry. Alright, so no Cintiq, but let me put this on her face right here. And then a little bit here on her elbow, and then some right here on her arm. And then we might have to fix these. Make that smaller. Alright. So right there. Put some right there. Alright, so the next thing I would do is a color blend mode. Let's go to overlay. Let's see what that looks like at overlay. Ooh, it looks like she's golden now. The sun is reflecting on her. Alright, so now we're cooking. Look at this. Okay, now it looks like she's really there and the sun is reflecting off of whatever that is over there onto her. Okay, now it almost looks like, you know, we could use the colors in this image. But let's see what happens when I make it black and white. Where's my black and white? There we go, black and white. Alright, so now the reflective light, you can't really see it as well. But it still works. What you could do is select the colors right there by doing a command click on the thumbnail. Make a new layer and then fill that with white. I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn the black and white off, and I'm going to turn off that. I'm going to show you what I did. I did a command click on the thumbnail here, and that selects whatever's on that layer. Then on the new layer, layer 2, there's nothing there, but I'm going to fill it in with white. And white is in my background color over here, and that would be a command delete, and that fills the white in. Command D to deselect, and then I'll do a overlay. So that's what I did, and then I'll make this black and white to see if that works. If that works better than the reflective light. The reflective light wasn't as bright as the white, but the white is, I'm going to write white reflective, and I'm going to take the opacity of that down a little bit because it was just that's just crazy. See here, I think it's the arm right here. I can take a eraser tool, make it a soft brush, and I can kind of brush away the top of it, some of it maybe. There we go, and that might look better. Sometimes you get shine on the ankles, like the front of the calves, so that actually doesn't look that bad. And let's put a little more, let's see if we can put a little more white on her elbow here, see if that works. I wonder if I can make another layer and do that on this one. And then bring the opacity down on it. There we go. That lightens up her elbow. There we go. And then let me see if I can lighten up her face a little bit more too. We could do that. Let me see. That might be too much. What I could do is make another layer. See, you're working with lots of layers here. And then there we go. Put that on her face and bring the opacity down on that. And it's going to be a different opacity number. That one's an opacity of 11, and this one's opacity of 23. So depending on where you're putting it, you might have to do different opacities and different layers. So I'm digging that. That's black and white. The reflective light, and it actually kind of looks like she's actually sitting there, laying there. So I'm kind of good with that. I might do a little more shadow though. I'm going to do a little more black shadow underneath her leg right here and her foot. Because even though there's reflective light, there's also the light coming down from the top right, I'm going to give her a little, give her some depth. There we go. That actually looks really good. All right, so that's the black and white version if we're going to do black and white. If we're not doing black and white, we get rid of the black and white, and then we give it the reflective light color on her. All right, so it depends on what you're doing, black and white or color. Now what I'm going to do is select the whole entire image, and then I'm going to do a shift drag to bring this over, and there's my new crop. I'm going to put my words over here, or I might even do, like, if it's a Facebook ad or if it's an ad for LinkedIn or something, I might even crop even closer than that and then put my text here. Text, I would do Helvetica. And Helvetica, let's see, condensed bold, I don't know. Right, let's do regular for right now. What are we going to call this? We're going to call this, I don't know. I haven't worked on a concept for the text yet, but there we go. Might do, let me see, I would do bold. Let's see, bold condensed. Let's see what condensed black is. That's too much. Let me see, bold. And that looks good. I like bold, but I don't know about black. I might want to do white. And then put it right there. So it's not in your face, you can read it. You could also go underneath the word homeless, make a new layer with a brightness contrast, get the image to go darker in that spot right there. Don't go crazy. And then fill that mask in with black. I had the foreground color is black, so I had to do Alt-Delete. Shortcut key for that. And then get a soft brush and paint white back into the mask where the word homeless is. And then you can darken this area over here. It's up to you how far you want to go. If you want to do the whole thing. And then if you just want to do right around in here, and then do black, do a soft, there we go, soften it up so you only have darkness right there. I think putting dark behind her, since it's a dark statue, that it wouldn't pop if you did it that way, so I wouldn't put darkness back there. Now you would also put something else like whatever tagline you want to do, homeless or sleeping on the streets or whatever you want to do. Last thing that caught my eye was the tree. The tree looks like it's a little off, And she looks like she's straight up and down, but sometimes the camera will make some augmented reality. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this area with my rectangular marquee tool, do a Control J to duplicate, make a new layer from that selection, and then I'm going to do a Control T to transform. What I'm going to do is press the command so I can click on one of the corners, and press Shift so it constrains, and I'm going to go right about there. Looks like the tree is straight now. Now the image looks a little messed up in here, so either you can clone it, or you can crop the image down even further if you want, and then take the word homeless and you need to make it smaller or put it up a little bit or do whatever you need to do. You know, it's a constant, you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can clone that up there and get in real close and get the clone stamp tool. This will be easy to do. And make a small clone stamp tool. I usually click between the two lines of the two worlds, pavement and grass. Click, come over here, and paint. There you go, done. There we go.